What's up, amigos? Welcome to GoldUp. Today is day 12 on my Do Soft Exposure unit. So amigos, you guys already saw how I added the LED strips onto my table. I soldered those cables together. I did the wiring for my timer, all that, and the only thing left to do is to actually place the glass on top, so I could start finally exposing some screens. And finally I was able to get my glass, but there's one problem. The glass is a little bit larger than my unit, so I'm going to trim it, and that's what I want to do today. Now this glass, at first I was going to buy it, but when I was talking to Maestro, where my plans of buying his table so I could do my own exposure unit, he told me how him and his business partner, they had like a big glass, and they told me that if I wanted to, they'll cut a piece for me. So I kept that in mind, and when I was finally going to get the glass, I talked to his business partner, and he told me that don't worry, we'll cut a piece for you. But that took longer than I expected. I kept waiting, and literally I was about to buy it because he was taking too long. The person he was gonna get to cut the glass, that person was taking too long. So, and I wanted to finish this table already, man, because I want to start exposing screens. I want to test those LED strips, and I was about to buy it, but at the last minute he finally messaged me telling me what's the size again that you wanted for the glass, and I sent him the measurements, and he finally cut it. I went over there and I saw it, and luckily I kind of I measure it, but I give him like a few, probably like a 1-2 centimeters longer, just to be safe. Because the last thing I want to do is give him a certain measurement, and the person, whoever cuts it, cut it too short. And if it's too big, well, I could just trim it. But if it's too short, not much I can do with it. But finally I got it. It was kind of hassle to bring it over here because he's all over there, and I was gonna bring in the motorcycle, so I was like to buy. I found a way to put in the motorcycle and bring it over here, even though I did cut myself trying to. You can't see anything, but I cut myself trying to put that in the motorcycle. But it's finally here. It's finally here, and I went to the hardware store and I bought this glass cutter, so I can finally cut the glass and put it on the table because I want to start exposing screens already. Okay, so here's the glass, and just right here, just a little bit, I need to trim this off. Whoever cut this did a horrible job because, let me see, very, very, very bad cut. But anyways, I'm just gonna mark it right now with the Sharpie. So let's do this. Kind of nervous because this is my first time cutting glass. Get this glass cutter. Only 45 pesos for this. Well, you can't see that well, but 45 pesos, not that bad. Let's say oil this before I actually use it. So. Wish me luck, amigos. I'm not sure about that. One more time. Okay, so I had to end up looking on YouTube to figure out how to remove the strip. Goggles. I do see pieces flying off. So finally was able to cut the glass, trim the small edge. Took longer than I expected. Had to look on YouTube to figure out how to do it. Finally understood it. And now it's time to place down here. Hopefully it fits perfectly, because I don't want to be trimming that again. Okay. See? Little trim job I did. First time, so don't judge. Oh yeah. Wait, something's off. Oh my god, I must cut myself. Nope. Just a little trim. Okay. Still not. I did cut myself. Good. Should have gloves, but I don't have gloves, man. That's a small cut. So the only thing I have to do is trim this little corner. There, found it. Oh, look at my blood. Okay, so finally have the glass. Finally, even though I did cut myself, not the most nice glass top, but good enough. Tomorrow I'm gonna actually end up cleaning this glass, remove the blood I have here. Oh my god. I'm using it. Ya me corté.
Papi, te dijo mi mamá que no te cortaras. Ya eres un niño. Tú ya eres un niño. Tú ya no eres un bebé.
No, ¿verdad? I might as well clean it right now since I'm already down here. Talking about dirty. I'm exposing some screens. Right now, not that necessary. I'm just trying to take off the blood. The blood drips. And this thing's moving too much. Let me put something down here so it won't move. There we go. There. Finally. Okay, amigos, so that's all for today's video. You know, finally was able to place my glass top on my exposure unit. Took longer than expected, especially trying to trim off that little small edge of glass. I was recording, but since I was having issues, as I started recording, I actually went to YouTube to figure out how to do it. When I finally figured it out, I went to place it on my exposure unit. Did end up cutting myself just a bit, but my fault for not wearing any gloves. And it was almost a perfect fit, but I still need to trim just a little corner, which I did. And I only cleaned the blood off and part of the dust. But when I go to do the actual, test for exposing, I could clean the glass perfectly from both sides to make sure I have no issues on there. And when I do go to test my exposure times, I'm gonna do a brand new emulsion, because the emulsion I have right now, it's like an year and a half old. So I'm not even gonna bother trying to figure out my times with that emulsion. Might as well do a brand new emulsion as well with the Durometer, the chemical that I use to activity motion. That way I won't have any issues. And after going to do with my aluminum screens, they're clean, but they've been laying there. They've been laying there for I don't know how many long. I don't know for how long. So they're already filled with dust. So I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna give them a clean, because those small screens I have, they're still left with ink from when I did my 2-color halftone print. Haven't had any chance to clean that off. Like I mentioned, I haven't had time for anything almost. Finally, I was able to do this right here, which I've been waiting for, because I want to get this project already out of the way, because I'm trying to move on to more projects, and this is kind of holding me back. By the way, I'll see you guys on the next video when I finally do my test to figure out my exposure time. So in the meantime, amigos, I'll see you guys next time.